I don't know. There's, wait, is this the right way? Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Stop. What? I don't know. Um, that's called, that's called the schizo. It's called the schizo. It's a character I just developed. What? What? I don't know. um, I should probably start this video over, right? Right? Nothing really in particular. Nothing really in particular to talk about. What was I gonna talk about? Last night, this woman on the phone. Well, she didn't say it on the phone. I don't think she'd have the cojones to say it on the phone in terms of a phone call, but in text she kept saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Those are, I don't know, are those, fuck you, fuck you. Those words are supposed to be harsh, I guess. I guess it feels harsh. It's kind of cringe, really. I don't like it. It's there's a lack of creativity. Right? Fuck you, fuck you. I'm offended that you. I'm not offended. I'm irritated. The lack of effort there, and I'm irritated by the idea that this is a good sort of insult. This is a good way to demean me. Oh, say something true. Say something true, or not at all. Fuck you. I don't even know what you're saying. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's like a fuck you is your little baby throwing a tantrum. Fuck you. Not that I haven't done it. I'm not above throwing a tantrum. I wouldn't say that. Like to be though. On my way to being a stoic, right? Just gotta pick up some, gotta read one of those stoic books that I have lying around, and I'm sure it'll work. I'm sure it'll work. Sometimes you just don't really like people, you know? And it might be useful to figure out why you don't like a certain person, you know, to figure it out, but you might just not. And or there's too many differences that aren't gonna, it's just not gonna work out. And then I guess we try to force those things. We, meaning I gotta stop. Yeah, that's been obviously a huge part of my history. Is just the forcing things that just aren't gonna be fulfilling in any way, and trying to extract whatever possible goodness can come from what's the right metaphor when you're trying to, like, I don't know, you're mining for gold and it's already, there's nothing, there's no gold, whatever. Come on. Come on. I was thinking about the theme of the last video about, you know, willingness to change. That's always something I talk about. And the not so mind-blowing thought that I was having that I'm going to express anyway, because I'm not obligated to be mind-blowing, right? I'm setting that boundary. I'm setting is, yes, I don't think that we change at the core, meaning that whatever happened as far as just your genetics, or when you're in your childhood, and maybe even to some degree your teenage years, early 20s and so on, you know, there's the essence of who you are and what you value just whatever that is. Maybe it doesn't even need to be articulated, right? Just the who you are thing, whatever that is. And then the only thing, if you're going to change anything, is how to sort of adapt to the things that you're stuck with, which is you. And there was someone earlier who I'd talked to multiple on and off for maybe the past, I don't want to act like this was an extensive thing. It was someone that I briefly talked to on a couple separate occasions, maybe, I don't know, past 2-3 years or something. And I recently I started talking to her a little bit, and it was just the usual, all the things that why it wasn't fulfilling before. Just, the basics of being left on red, getting a response every couple days, being half ignored, everything being about that she can't offer much of anything because she's on her journey, cliche about on her journey to emotional well. Fuck. Yeah. There's this thing that really does feel, it's not really, I'm not going to call it a human thing. It's really I'm going to call it a Western cultural thing going on, or I don't know, American. I'll call it American. Wait, what's Western? I don't know. I don't want to speak for Canada. But there's just this fascinating thing where all of us seem to think that we it's just this double standards thing. This double standards where our suffering, our trauma should be treated a certain way, and we don't extend that, and that's just and it's not even just about trauma. It's almost just like something that I've noticed is people don't seem so willing to give whatever it is that they wish to receive, right? And I don't know if it's just maybe this is just a funnel of who I happen to have interacted with over the years in a variety of contexts, that I'm not getting a sort of a good accurate I can't think of the right words, survey of the population. I don't know, that whatever the filter is on who I happen to interact with creates a sort of bias towards these kind of people. But I just seem to have a hard time coming into contact with people that want to give whatever it is that they want to receive in just the most obvious ways. There'll be this thing like, hey, I'll express my suffering. They'll find a way to sort of mock or dismiss or be a little bit demeaning. Everybody suffers. That's what this person, the fuck you person, kept. Everybody suffers, right? But then as soon as I say a little thing calling out, oh, that seems a little cold, that seems a little unempathetic, whatever, the rage comes out, right? So, and what does that mean, right? To me, maybe I'm wrong, it seems to be like this double standard thing, right? The suffering that she experiences for simply being called, oh, that's kind of unempathetic. Oh, that's kind of I don't really like that response. You seem cold. You seem like there seems to be some double standards here. I don't really like this. The suffering that I'm implementing by saying just things like that, right? Now that is some real suffering, and this is not to say it is real, right? It is real. It is real suffering. Yeah, we're not getting into politics. The suffering, yes, but my point being that there's just, maybe I'm too, um, almost like I have this magnet, I feel like, for um, things that seem illogical, contradictions, double standards, all of that. And I've certainly, over the years, in certain contexts, experienced some of that to like really extreme levels that aren't just like, oh, I'm picking little examples here and there. Like I've definitely had some experiences that maybe I could use to justify my sensitivity to it. Like, wow, here's some examples of some really like insane, extreme double standards and stuff. But still, wherever, regardless of analyzing where the sensitivity might be coming from towards that, um, it does seem so common. And I don't want to act like, God, this bird, is that annoying you? Is that annoying you? What was I saying? So I don't want to act like that I'm never guilty of my own double standards, contradictions, or whatever. But I at least hope to sort of try to be more aware of that. And if I'm interacting with someone that I care about and they point this out to me, I hope that I'll listen and try to adjust and have a conversation about it. But it is my impression, the impression that I do have is that most people, it's just not even a concern. And if you call it out, you just get a lot of anger and misdirection, projection, whatever. It's just people, they're not, I don't know. It feels like a lot of manipulation, whereas I feel like I long for just like honest, direct communication. I think that's the bottom line. And it's that whole thing though. It takes two to tango, right? It even comes to other things when I've talked about before about like what's oversharing and whatever. I don't even know that there is such a thing as oversharing. It's more of like it takes two to tango, right? Yeah, there isn't. There is a contextual oversharing, but sharing in itself is not necessarily. I don't think there is an obvious point where, oh, that's just too much. No, it's too much contextually, right? And so that's the thing with all this stuff is I find it difficult to find people that just seem to have similar enough desires in terms of just that desires, what we want to communicate about, how we're willing to interact with each other, what's acceptable, what's unacceptable. And maybe I'm a weirdo or something, I'm sure that's part of it, but it doesn't even matter if that's it, or whoever we want to blame as the culprit of this. This is just me expressing to myself that this is a struggle to figure out, like, how can I, yes, I want to, like I was alluding to earlier about changing I don't want to change myself. No. Are you looking to change this? Yeah, I would like to do I would always like to learn. Skills are good to have. So improving my skill set to articulate who I am, to articulate appropriately what I'm feeling, if I'm happy with something, if I'm frustrated with something, right? That skill set of communicating effectively, having the right words to do that. I think that would be something, if you want to call that a change, getting skills. Skills are good, but I don't want to try to change what my desires are. I don't want to really try to change what I enjoy and don't enjoy. I do want to just see if I can spend more time with the things I enjoy, away from the things that I don't. And but I would like to find people or a person or more people that I really can feel that sort of on the same page-ness with. And some of that just involves I have have to stop putting energy into those situations where it's just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna. There is nothing to extract from the empty. No water in the empty well, and you need to stop licking the floor of the dry well, hoping for a few drops. Yeah, something like that.